This is a split leaf Philly plant that I have, and the leaves on this is a not one of your small Phillies, but this is a big, and the leaves on this thing are just humongous, humongous leaves. They're nice and green, as you can see. I'm currently rooting this plant. It was so humongous that it was just taking up this whole area here by my back patio door, you know, where I've got my cat tree and some other things. It's just getting so big. It had, you know, about 12 or so of these humongous leaves, and it was getting tall, and every couple years, you know, these things grow like weeds. So really, every couple years, what you've got to do, you got to chop the top off, and you know, chop off about the top 4 leaves or so, top 4 or 5 leaves, and you cut off at the base of the stem, you know, any, you know, 1 or 2 leaves at the bottom. You just cut them off straight at the stem, so that you can put it in water and it'll root out. And the little shoots and stems and things that it puts out from the main stem, those things will grow roots as well. A lot of people will cut these side shoots off, and I let mine grow out, and I'll typically bend them down gently, because they're pretty brown. They're pretty tough, and they can crack and break if you bend them too hard. But I'll typically bend them down gently and point them down into my soil. So you want a pretty good sized pot for a Philly plant. And the reason I bend those side shoots out and put them down into my soil, because they'll grow roots and they will supply nutrients to higher levels of the plant, and they'll also help stabilize this plant, because it's kind of like a vine, essentially. And that's pretty much what I got going on. It takes, this time of year, it's winter, you know, it takes a good 2 to 3 weeks to root it out like this. This one's been in here 3 going on 4 weeks. It's just been cold outside, and I didn't have any potting soil, which I just picked up today. Picked up a couple things of potting soil. I threw out the old soil because it had fungus gnats in it, and that's before I noticed these little, they call them sticky stakes. And what this is like flypaper that you attach to the stakes that come with it, come together in a package called sticky stakes. And I'm using that to get rid of the fungus gnats. Here's what it comes in. It comes in little sheets of flypaper like this with a stake, and you just attach it to the stake and stick it in the soil. And you know, after 3 or 4 weeks, you can get rid of your fungus gnats. I hear that fungus gnats really don't cause harm to your plants, but they're kind of a nuisance. I did freak out originally because I thought that they would eat my roots or harm the plants, and they may do that a little bit, but apparently they're not any serious threat to your plants from what I read online. But they are kind of a nuisance, so I got some sticky stakes now to eliminate them. So the soil I picked up from the Home Depot is frozen. So let it thaw out tonight, and tomorrow I'll put it in this plant, the Philly tree, in this temporary pot, because I'm gonna end up giving it away to a friend. It's a very nice plant. You know, I hate to just throw it in the compost pile because it is such a nice plant. And these plants do very well um, as long as you give them enough sun and plenty of water. And when this guy was, you know, growing in a pot, I was probably giving him about a liter of water a day. I mean, with these big leaves, if you don't give them enough water, you know, the moisture and the water just evaporates out of these big leaves, and then you can get brown spots, and you know, the entire leaf can turn brown if you really don't give it enough water. So these plants aren't hard to keep green. All they really need is water. They don't even require a lot of food. It's like a big weed. Um, but anyway, that's what I got going on with the Philly plant right now. If you've got one of these, you know, each time you cut the top off of it, that stem will get thicker and thicker and thicker. Eventually you'll basically need like a chainsaw or an axe to cut it. So mine's quite a bit thicker. This is the second time I've rooted it out. You typically don't have any problem getting these things to root. Like I said, they're like big weeds. So that's what I got for today. Have a good one.